Juliet Parr is the current Malkavian Justicar, given the authority to investigate traitors to the Camarilla and punish those who would flaunt or undermine its traditions. Parr has a long-standing association with law enforcement. Prior to her appointment, she served as one of the sheriffs of London. Her presence, knowledge, and charm are considerable, and her obsessive-compulsive tendencies have served her well when interrogating suspects, examining crime scenes, and poring over important evidence. The Justicar continues to maintain a haven in her home city of London, and she can often be found there when she is not attending Camarilla matters overseas personally. You are a confidant of Justicar Parr, serving as her eyes and ears, and given the authority to command Camarilla resources in her name. She trusts your observations and recommendations, all in the name of the greater good, protecting the Camarilla from enemies, within and without. Greetings, kindred. I am voivodemekhet, and welcome back to our world of darkness and a lore sheet covering the Agent of Justicar Parr. This lore sheet is found in the Fall of London sourcebook, and where I don't personally care for this book very much, I think the story is great. I think the book is written ass backwards. There's just so much jumping around and so much description for just the storyteller, with such little to actually give the players in the process. I don't know. I feel like it was either a rushed book or a book written out of spite. I really don't know. But the overall idea of the story itself, and being able to use this book as a source book of writing your own plot lines based in London, I think it's great. It's just, it really is just the Fall of London storyline that's just a huge jumble. But today we are going over the Agent of Justicar Parr lore sheet, which I actually very, very much enjoy. I think all of V5's lore sheets have their own charm to them. And this one is definitely no exception. So let's go ahead and jump into this lore sheet, which is wrapped around the Malkavian Justicar. Information drop. You routinely provide information to Justicar Parr, reporting on the movements and conversations of other kindred, but sometimes you receive useful information in return. Once per story, you can ask the storyteller for a piece of information relevant to an ongoing investigation, which could be reasonably provided by the Justicar's wider network of agents and informants. Any way you can possibly get more information when dealing with some type of investigation or anything like that is so useful, in my opinion. I always recommend that my players, if they want to be like in the actual plotline, take high perception and high investigation, because I'm very much an awareness junkie when it comes to telling my stories. And having information that could be provided from somebody as influential as a Justicar, there is nothing, I think, that would possibly be able to overshadow that in a Camarilla-specific game. As it is in my story right now, I have not indicated that he has anything going on at all with this, but one of the major NPCs that I have has been sent in by Juliet Parr and could be argued to have some, if not this entire flippin' lore sheet. Camarilla conditioning. Beyond your personal commitment to the Camarilla, you have also received training and indoctrination that ensures your loyalty to the sect. You gain 1 die in all willpower tests performed in the course of your duties. And you also add one additional die to your pool when making tests to resist any attempt to intimidate or compel you away from your duties. I really like the way that this one is put forth, because not only do you get a benefit, you also get the shadow in the background that the Camarilla is not 100% okay. This proves it is just another cult that's out there, but this one just happens to be more successful. I do like the fact that you do get the extra willpower and the ability to resist people who are trying to coerce you away from your stuff, but that also means it takes away your ability to free think. And I really like that, because it really does just bring up the essence of what the Camarilla is. Request backup. You are important enough to Justicar Parr that you may call upon other Camarilla assets in her network to assist you in your work. Once each story, you may call upon a 5-dot ally to back you up for the duration of a scene. They could grant you access to places you normally cannot go, introduce you to people you would not normally meet, perform a task beyond your own expertise and experience, or simply provide physical protection or escape in a high-risk situation. The idea of "we're all around you," which was actually the catchphrase for Kindred the Embraced way back in the day, really does cry out with request backup. And I really do enjoy that, because you might think of yourself as the perfect messenger for Parr, and of course she trusts you. Why would she not? But in reality, there are other people. There are other agents of Parr. You might not even know who they are, but the fact is they will come to your aid if you request that kind of thing. And I really, really like that. I think this does give not just a great way of getting out of specific situations, but a great way to do world building in a game that involves this lore sheet. Favored protege. You are acquainted with Juliet Parr at a personal level, and you have a shared history beyond serving the Camarilla in official capacity. You correspond with the Malkavian often. While she trusts you implicitly, her interests come with a certain degree of possessiveness. You may consider Parr a 5-dot mala, but she also makes constant demands of you. It would be unwise to upset an elder of her power and influence. That really calls back to the way that the Tremere used to work in earlier editions. I really do appreciate this one. The idea that you feel like you have a personal connection with such a high member of the Camarilla. And the fact that you can use her as a 5-dot mala after only spending 4 points to gain this. But it does definitely come with prerequisites. The fact that you are going to have to be at the beck and call of a Justicar. Not only of a Justicar, but the Malkavian Justicar. What the hell is she going to make you do? And when is she going to make you do it? She could call any time and have demands that you have to answer. And where this could be very useful with the 5-point mala, it could be very detrimental with the idea that an elder Malkavian might have need of you to do things. And you really can't say no. Camarilla Archon. You are publicly named as an Archon, serving the Camarilla under Justicar Parr. And you hold a warrant that you can present to any Camarilla kindred to demand their cooperation in your activities and investigations. Your position taints all of your interactions with other vampires for better or worse. Sycophants will try to impress you, while others may resent you or avoid you. Enemies of the Camarilla will also consider you a target to make an example of if possible. This lets you come into game as an Archon. No matter what clan you're doing this job for, no matter what Justicar you answer to, being an Archon is never a good thing. I can understand where you can definitely benefit and enjoy the privileges of being an Archon, being able to wave that badge around in the face of the prince, getting away with things that most people would not, striking fear in the hearts of those who would typically have more authority than you. But it says it right in the description. Other people might see you as a target. Sycophants are going to try to kiss your ass, to try to get you to favor them in some fashion. And where you might be able to think, oh, I can handle these things. Why were you chosen as an Archon? Why exactly were you chosen by a Malkavian to be an Archon? You are one of the highest levels of authority within the Ivory Tower. But most of the time these games are set for neonates. I don't even think Ancilli should really be Archons. That's an Elder's game. That is a violent Elder's game. But if you're wanting to take that, it definitely can lead to a lot of fun. This is a good chance for storytellers to involve things such as the Red List, or just monitoring cities, even. I have run games with a couple of Archons in them from time to time, and they have always led to very interesting stories, which have ended up being incredibly frustrating and emotional for the person who decided that playing an Archon was a good idea. I'm looking at you, Silence. But it's always fun. So that is the Agent of Justicar Parr lore sheet, found within the Fall of London sourcebook for Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition. I am a very big fan of this lore sheet, much as I am with most of the other ones, and I love it when people decide to take these things in, because this is not a London-specific lore sheet. Juliet Parr might live in London, but a Justicar's power is worldwide. And that is always something that's fun to have in the game, as somebody who could possibly be whisked away to go do other things from time to time. It's a good reason if you have one of those players who just can't quite make it to every session. The Justicar had them fly to Brazil to check out some possible Sabbat connections. Or your game's set in New York, but your character got sent all the way to Los Angeles to deal with Anarch something. Just there's reason to take this for more than just the standard mechanics of the game. But, so, I very much enjoy these. I hope you guys are too. If you have any questions at all, please put them in the comments below. Like this video if it was helpful to you whatsoever, and share this with your fellow gamers. We're always looking to build our community. I am voivodemekhet. This is our World of Darkness, and thank you very much for joining me with this look at the lore sheet for the Agents of Juliet Parr. Good evening.